It's going to be 47 degrees today. Holy mackerel. But don't go crazy. Get stuff done today. Like me, I've got to fill my pool. It's got this minor leak, and now 47, I got a chance. Take the thing off the hose deal, put the hose on, put the water on, then close everything up. Because this weekend it's frigid again. Here's the worst part, Landon Schmidt. You know, it's going to be sloshy, drivable, which, by the way, can be treacherous because the snow slosh, I guess is the best way to do it, can like knock you around.
I've already experienced that firsthand.
Yeah, it can be tough, but then it refreezes. And that's what we're going to get. We're going to get 47 today. Tomorrow it starts to get cold again. I don't think it gets above freezing tomorrow, which means it's going to get cold tonight. It re-ices.
Yep.
Some people think it's even worse because that's what black ice is all about.
Yep.
And I love how the meteorologists go, watch out for the black ice. You know why they call it black ice? You can't see it.
Yeah, it's black ice.
So just be careful because you know it's out there, but you're not going to see it. I don't think till next Tuesday or Wednesday that this thing thaws out and we see pavement regularly and it all melts. I really don't. So I don't know how long schools will be closed. I saw some schools are not even closed for tomorrow yet for sure. They ought to be.
Yeah, they should be.
These side streets are still just awful.
Yeah, they're bad. On my way, I skidded right in front of a huge building. So that's just it's still bad.
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, doing fine. Highways and stuff are good.
The highways are great.
Yeah, highways are really good.
But you know what? Like 240's got 2 lanes. When you like kind of go on over to the ramp, which is Bill Morris Parkway from 240, if you're going toward the southeast, that's down to 1 lane. That's still 1 lane. It's a good 1 lane. It's a dry, you got grip 1 lane, but it's usually 2. So people like merging. I thought I was going to see an accident there today. Thank goodness I did not. And by the way, the entrance to ramps. I know you get on at Walnut Grove, but you're going the other way.
Yeah. I
get on because I'm headed east, so I go to the right. I almost missed that exit today because I started to skid a little bit.
Yeah.
So in essence here, be careful because we're stuck with this stuff for
the foreseeable future.
At least another 5-6 days.
Yeah.
That's what I think. And I don't know when schools will start again. I'm sure restaurants are getting killed right and left. So if you have cabin cabin fever, go to a nearby restaurant. Let them live because they've got to be hurting badly. I'm going to try to make my way tonight to FedEx Forum. We've got the Tigers. We've got FAU in a game that Memphis has to win. Has to win. If they're going to finish in the top 2, and look, they're only a game and a half out of first. I know they're in 7th, but they've only got 3 losses. The best teams have 2 losses. They're a game and a half out, and they can be a game out if they win tonight. And they would give one of those 2-loss teams a knockdown, and they'd be even. And I'm shocked. I'm literally shocked that the Tigers are a 1.5-point favorite in this game. This is a game, I think they lost by 11. The only reason they lost was they could not they didn't come to play. They had no rebounding prowess. They got out rebounded by 17. Also, Florida Atlantic had 9 blocks. 9 blocks. 7 by one guy, Devin Williams. So if they limit that, which is basically, if you're getting blocked, it's at the rim, right? So there's 9 blocks. That's 18 points. If they can limit those and stay even with them on the boards, I think it's a team they can beat. They outshot them. They had 12 threes in that game. Florida Atlantic had only 8. They average about 9. So we'll see. But maybe that's why the Tigers are 1.5-point favorites. Look, if it's me, I've already said this, the rotation down to 8 guys. Notable guys not playing for me, Hakeem and Parker. Ingram, Silla. Those guys would be out of the rotation. and I'd play Majock and Bradshaw together because, as Munzie told us just yesterday, that plus-minus wise in 3 different games has been the best plus-minus moments of the year. And they outplayed Wichita in the second half with those 2 guys on the floor. That seems to be a really good combination, and you got to give Majock some run. He's only going to get better. So I would certainly do that rotation down to 8, and I'd sure play Majock and Aaron Bradshaw together. You got to have energy from the get-go because, well, they had a 4-0 lead, I guess, in Wichita, and then it all went sour. But this season may end up going the way this game goes tonight. I really believe this is as big a telltale game as we will see all year long. I don't know how tough it was, but we're going to talk to Pete Pranik in a minute, how tough it was to get to FedEx Forum last night. I watched on TV. I don't think the crowd was really good. There was no energy crowd-wise or team-wise. Charlie got hot. They've won 4 straight. Their 20th win this year surpasses their total from all of last year. That Diabate, wow, did he have a game. 18 points. I didn't know he had that kind of offensive skill. Hit a 3, 20 rebounds. Like he just took over the game. He was a man. And then Brandon Miller he's really tough against Memphis. Bridges has always been tough against Memphis. Miller had 26. Triple J, 26. Coward, he's going to be a big piece, 17. A rough night for Cam Spencer. He's, I can't wait for Scottie Pippen to come back and Ty Jerome because that makes him a shooting guard, which is really what he is. He's a rotation guy at that point. I just don't think he's a true point guard. And they've scouted him. They've taken stuff away. What do you have, 5 or 6 assists last night? He was zip for 6 from outside or something like that. So the Grizz have lost 4 in a row and 5 of 6. We'll talk with Pete Pranica here in just a minute or so about a tough night at the office and what's going on. Bill Bender's going to join us. It'll be his final appearance this year. Program note, starting Monday, we stay with the sporting news. The great Mike DeCourcy rejoins the show, 10:25 on Monday. He's the guy he's the dean of these national college basketball sports writers. He does the bracketology for Fox Sports. So I look forward to chatting with him every Monday from here on out. And as always, on Thursdays, we end our day with Jarvis Greer, who's been on a European vacation. We'll check in with him about the trip to Europe to watch the Grizzlies and all of the other things. I sit here in the Family Leisure Studios, and I did tell you they switched. We got a floor model spa sale at Family Leisure. It's time to make room. That's what they're doing. There's deep discounts on over 100 display models and in-stock hot tubs, swim spas, and even those newest things, the cold plunges. I don't know about a cold plunge in this weather, to be totally honest with you, but it will warm up soon. And again, they got to move them out because they're bringing the spring stuff in. Take advantage. Tell them we sent you. There could be a gift in it for you. Go see Billy. Go see Lindsay at Family Leisure, where the spa sale, the make room sale, whatever you want to call it, is going on, and where family and fun all come together. We come together with the TV voice of the Grizzlies, Pete Pranica. How tough was it to get down there last night to FedEx Forum? I've got that task myself this evening. What was that like? Pete Pranica, good morning.
Well, good morning. Well, the biggest issue was getting out of the driveway because last weekend in the midst of the storms, I stayed downtown so I could walk to the game on Sunday, which never happened. And so my driveway is a 5-inch thick block of ice. And so I'm not able to get into the garage. I'm relying on my parking brake to keep the car from sliding into Ridgeway. It's not been fun. Getting to the arena was not bad yesterday, but I just wish we would get a good melt for several days. But that's not going to happen, of course.
No, that's not going to happen until mid next week. Unfortunately, like I was saying in my open, I have no idea when schools will open. It would be totally unsafe to open them tomorrow. Most schools have already closed. And then, we got this new fridge thing coming Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think it starts to warm up either Monday or Tuesday. But really, you won't see a total melt till like Wednesday or Thursday, I'm afraid.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good because this stuff is frozen so solid that plows really don't do much good. So, yeah, we're going to have the strategy is wait for it to melt.
Yeah. What was the crowd like on TV? Did not look very good. I'm assuming that'll be the way it'll be for the Tigers and FAU this evening, and there just was no energy in the building, either from the crowd or from the team itself last night.
Yeah, Tomas Islo even said post game, this is not the effort that we need. This is not the effort that we expect. What are the reasons? Is it because of the weather, the crazy travel? The Grizzlies, could not get out on Sunday to get to Houston for the Monday night game. So everybody met at the arena, and they took us over in buses to Wilson Air, which is not the usual protocol. But Wilson Air, their parking lot was all a sheet of ice.
So tell me about it. I had to get out of there Monday night
exactly.
with my car under 4 or 5 inches of ice.
Exactly. And then so flying in on a game day, playing the game against Houston, and then could not get back that same night because there was no de-icing truck in Houston.
Huh.
So the crazy travel. And the other thing, too, and I've talked to players and coaches about this, as you near the trade deadline, and it's not just, the fact that Morant may be available, it just, I think that it affects players immensely, more than they let on, whether you perceive you're on the trading block or not. And so this is kind of a funky time of the season where if things aren't going quite your way, things can snowball, and they definitely snowballed in the third quarter last night.
No, the effect on a player, I don't care how good they are, knowing that you may be moving, your roots are all in one place. And in the case of Ja Morant, this is the only NBA hometown he's known. His kid has grown up here. His mom and dad live in a house next door. I mean, it's been an ideal setup in that regard, and we know things have gone sideways there. That has to have an effect. I don't know if the Grizz think, well, he's played really 2 good games. He played the good game against Atlanta here. He played great in the win against Orlando in London. He showed the world what he can do. Then, at the end of the Atlanta game, he had the injury, and now he's out 3 weeks. Do they go, that's enough evidence, and even if he were able to come back sooner, we're not going to do that because we think maybe that's enough to show his value. If you were a betting man and I put you on the spot, and that's what I'm doing, and I said, will he be here after February 5th? What would you tell me?
I think he will. Just judging what the market is right now, there's really nothing that seems to be popping up anywhere. I mean, even in the rumor mill, just listening to a lot of the different podcasts, you don't get a sense that there are teams that are really willing. And from the reports are that the Grizzlies want draft capital as well, in addition to players, and you've got to take back a fair amount of salary because Ja's number is so big. So, my thing on trading is it takes 2. And, a team Milwaukee may want to trade Giannis. Giannis may want to trade, but if the deal's not there, it's not going to happen. And I think that it's going to be not so much dependent upon the Grizzlies, but what other teams would be willing to offer in that case.
So let's assume you're right. Let's just say he's not going to move. Will the Grizzlies play him here down the stretch, try to make the play-in? And is it in the best interest of Ja to say, look, I can show you I can play 3 weeks in a row and I can be really good during that stretch to up his trade value? What do you think the usage rate of Ja Morant will be if he remains in a Grizzlies uniform?
I can't speak for Zach Kleiman or Tomas Isolo, but my point, Dave, is that this is a good roster that's been assembled, it's never been on the floor at the same time.
Right.
So we really don't know what this team can be. And so let's wave a magic wand and say this team is going to be healthy. I want to see this full roster and see what it can do, because we haven't had that opportunity, and part of that full roster would be John Morant. What if we have John Morant and we have Ty Jerome and we have Scottie Pippen and we have Zach Edey? Need I remind our listeners that Edey and Morant have shared the court for a grand total of 5 minutes this year.
Right.
So, my take on the Grizzlies is we don't know what we have. We really and truly don't, because they haven't been playing together, because they haven't been healthy at the same time.
On paper, if that were to happen in the next month and a half, that you got everybody back, do you think this team is good enough to be, say, top 4 in the West with those guys?
From where they are in the standings to go from like 12th to 4th. That's
no. I just mean talent-wise, ability-wise, overall. What's the upside if that team had been together the whole time?
I think it's I don't know if top 4, but 5 or 6. Definitely stay out of the play, and that would be my take. Because what we saw from Ty Jerome in the preseason was scintillating. What Scottie Pippen Jr. did in the playoffs last year was really good. If those guys continue to build, and Gigi Jackson is much better this year than he was last year, yeah, I think it's a team that probably avoids the play. And if they all remain healthy, and with Edey, they were 7-4, and without him, it's been really rough.
The bright spot this year, despite all these woes now, and they're out of the play-in at the moment, is Cedric Coward. You made a great point last night. The two Duke kids, Flag at Dallas and Knuppel at Charlotte, they're both averaging like 18 and 3/4 right there. I think Flag's got them by 1/10 of a point. Both from Duke. Pretty amazing story. Those two are probably vying for Rookie of the Year. Would you put Coward third? And is he now a piece that will be cherished and built around?
Second part of your question, yes. First part of your question, VJ Edgecombe. We saw what he did when Philadelphia was in town. So I think if you're looking at Rookie of the Year, you're probably thinking Ced's going to be third or fourth, because you've got the two Duke kids and then you've got Edgecombe. So it's everybody said this is going to be a really good draft class. Well, guess what? It is. And Derek Queen's been playing pretty well for New Orleans, and we'll see him tomorrow night. What I like about Ced is that he has really had a tremendous work ethic. He has a great basketball IQ, and I think where he has surprised pleasantly a lot of people, his rebounding ability. Second leading rebounder among the rookies. And he's been, with the exception of maybe a game somewhere in the year, he's been durable. And the best ability is availability, and he's been available. And I don't think he's hit a rookie wall. He's had his ups and downs as far as shooting, but played very well last night. And I know that he wanted to show well against Knippel.
Yeah, I had that kid. I thought he was really good in college. I did not think it would translate over, but it has definitely translated over. You mentioned earlier Giannis and that you have to have trade partners. Well, apparently for Giannis, Miami, Minnesota, the Knicks, and Golden State Warriors all have interest in Giannis. So I'll ask you the same thing I asked about Ja. Come a week from today, what is it, 2 o'clock Central?
Mm-hmm.
Will Giannis be in a Milwaukee uniform, or will he be wearing some other colors?
With the number of suitors, I think it's eminently possible. The question that you're asking, if you're a general manager and you have to go to your owner and say, hey, we want to make this big swing, because obviously probably a top-line player is going to have to go to Milwaukee, right?
Right.
Giannis he's got knee tendonitis issues. He's had recurring calf strains. Okay, we trade for this guy. What has he got left? And that's a legitimate question anytime you bring him in. The talent is undeniable. Absolutely one of the best we have in the game today. The question is, as with John Morant, can he stay on the floor? And that's been a problem. And you're going to have to manage. Here's a guy that you're probably not going to be able to play on the second night of a back-to-back. Now, obviously, playoffs, you're not in a back-to-back situation, but can you keep him healthy enough that he's going to be a valuable contributor for you. So, if I'm a general manager and I'm thinking about trading for Giannis, I'm thinking like, okay, how healthy is he going to be? How good are those knees yet? Because what is he, like 13 years into his career?
But he's only 31 years old.
Yeah. But playing for the national team, playing in the playoffs, there's a lot of tread on the tires. So, I would just buyer beware when it comes to his health, and that would be my take on it. But somebody out there is willing to take a big swing and say, we'll keep our fingers crossed that the calf doesn't strain anymore and the knees hold up.
Speaking of tread on tires, LeBron James, very emotional last night. Boy, the Lakers got clobbered by Cleveland by 30. But the tears were flowing during a tribute video to LeBron. Many speculate, and he did not say yay or nay, that this would be his last game in Cleveland. Do you think this is the swan song for LeBron James?
I tend to think that it will be. There are a lot of people saying that he should go back to Cleveland and play one more year there. I think LeBron has gotten to the point now with the Lakers where he's no longer the focal point. That's a hard thing to swallow when you've been,
right,
with as many accolades as he's had. Now Luka is the centerpiece there in Lakerland. So, he's going to be non-committal. I don't know that he wants a farewell tour necessarily. Deserves one, certainly. But when you're in the middle of the season, I think it's hard to figure out, this is definitely it. So my thought is, unless he goes back to Cleveland for a ceremonial year, I think this is probably the end of it.
Last thing, outside of Ja and Giannis, the trade deadline is a week from today. Will there be some other moves that might be intriguing?
Yeah, I think there are going to be. I just don't know. The Anthony Davis thing is kind of evaporated. Which again, that's another one. You trade a guy for a guy who's always hurt. I think there are teams, and you mentioned Golden State earlier, that Golden State is trying to keep their dying dynasty alive, and we'll see if they take a big swing, because usually they will. I would say they might be maybe the front runners to try to do something to keep their championship dreams alive.
I never hear anything about Zion. I'm surprised, let's say even Golden State with the loss of Butler, that they might take a swing at a guy like Zion. I know he's the same question mark, same as Ja, same as AD. They're never available, but he slimmed down. He seems to be playing more games this year. Would there be any interest in him, or is he just still really unproven?
I would think there would be interest. I just don't know where New Orleans' mind is at right now. If he still remains their centerpiece, and you get a couple great rookies in Fears and Derek Queen, who are playing good basketball. Trey Murphy's still a really good player. Herb Jones has taken, I think, a step back. I'll be interested to see what Joe Dumars, if they're going to try to rebuild this thing around the young guys, or if they're going to still stick with Zion, who has been relatively healthy this year.
He's Pete Pranica, is the voice on television for your Grizzlies. Pete, you're going to New Orleans, right? So safe travels there, and we will chat again next Thursday. Thank you.
Sounds good.
That's our man, Pete Pranica of the Grizzlies. He's brought to you by ATC Fitness. Ladies and gentlemen, 18 locations, a family business. The best in equipment, always state-of-the-art, always the newest thing. If there's some sort of massage thing, they've got it. If there's kettlebell things that are innovative, they got it. Open 24 hours a day, never, ever processing or contracts or anything of that nature. And they're not going anywhere because they're locally owned and family operated. What a deal. ATC Fitness. Exercise your right to look good. Looking good is our man Bill Bender in Columbus, Ohio. Our final segment with him on college football, at least till next late summer. Bill Bender comes your way in just a minute.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Ken Garland, you are in your 72nd year of business. Your son William is now joining you. What do you think is the key to your longevity in the building business?
My dad started the business in 1965, and I think being on the job sites daily and being accessible to homeowners has been a key to our success.
You guys have a work ethic, as you like to say. You're not hiring people to be on the site. You guys are there every day.
We interact with the subcontractors multiple times a day on each job site. I think that has been a key, as well as using the same subcontractors 20 plus years in most cases.
When you talk about materials, what is the first thing you're thinking about when somebody comes to you to build a home?
We're just trying to meet the expectations of the client and the homeowner and the architect and give them what their dream is.
When you get a Ken Garland home, what do you guarantee?
We'll be there after the job is finished. We're still accessible to all our clients.
Now I need to know, how do I get a hold of Ken Garland?
You can reach us at kengarland.com.
Take your basketball skills to the next level at Shoot 360 Memphis. Shoot 360 is a revolutionary basketball training facility that combines cutting-edge technology with gamification and provides instant, objective feedback with hands-on, one-on-one expert coaching. And now, introducing Shoot 360 Cordova, a newly renovated 50,000 square foot facility with 2 NBA regulation-size courts, 3 high school-size courts, and 4 shooting bays with Shoot 360 technology. Memberships are now on a monthly basis. And yes, you can become a member at both locations. Whether you're an aspiring young talent, NBA player, or looking for a unique workout, all skill levels are welcome at Shoot 360 Memphis to learn proper shooting and passing techniques, improve fundamentals, and gain a competitive edge while having fun. Shoot 360 Memphis, now in Cordova and Collierville. Call them today at 901-779-3176. That's 901-779-3176. The future of basketball training is here. Shoot 360 Memphis.
Injured in an accident?
NST is the way to go. Call 68370.
For more than 35 years, NST Injury Law has been fighting for Memphis families. When insurance companies try to delay, deny, or underpay, NST steps in to fight back. No fees unless you win.
NST is the way to go. Call 68370. They've got the fight, they've got the heart.
NST is the way to go. Call 683-7000.
I got him on the line, Rockin' Ronnie at Gossett Hyundai South Mount Moriah. Hey, Rockin' Ronnie, what's the scoop on this Hyundai Getaway sales event?
Randy, it means you'll save some cash.
Well, let the savings begin, Rockin' Ronnie. What you got?
A 2025 Ioniq 6, $159.11 a month. How about a 2026 Hyundai Kona SE, $198.99 a month? And I've got a 2026 Hyundai Palisade SE, $353.72 a month.
Let me repeat that. Ioniq 6, $159.11 a month. Hyundai Kona SE, $198.99 a month. 2026 Hyundai Palisade SE, $353.72 a month. Plus owner's assurance with America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
As for me, Rockin' Ronnie at Gossett Hyundai South, 2660 Mount Moriah, or shop online at HyundaiMountMoriah.com.
Ioniq SA 173,351, MSRP 44,960, Palisade TU 872,712, MSRP 41,330, Kona TU 375,843, MSRP 375,45, include volume business incentives, PF 895, excludes tax on license, CD for complete details, offer valid through the end of the month with approved credit dealer, stop only must finance through H&A.
Your Memphis Tiger men's basketball team returns home for an American Conference matchup Sunday, February 1st at 2 o'clock as the Tigers welcome Tulane to FedEx Forum. It will be our Wear Black game, and the first 2,500 fans through the doors will receive a free rally towel. Get your tickets now by visiting GoTigersGo.com/tickets for more information or to grab your seats today. Go Tigers Go!
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Gabe Woloshin.
We welcome you back in. We know what it's like here. What's it like in Columbus, Ohio? The dean of the College Football Writers, president of the Writers Association, is Bill Bender. He is in Columbus, Ohio. What is it like there? Did the storm hit hard? Good morning.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Dave, how are you? I have, there's still a considerable amount on the ground. There was a point today I didn't know what day it was because the kids have been out of school all week. And I was like, is it Wednesday? Or when you texted this morning, I still had to be like, are we on Wednesday or Thursday today? And, so it's been that kind of week.
Yeah. So if it's closed in Columbus, because they're used to this kind of stuff, wow, it's got to be bad. How many inches of snow did you guys get there?
I mean, it's over 10. I mean, it's in that 10 range.
Yeah.
It's around 10. I mean, I look at the side streets with the amount that's been piled up from all the shoveling the driveways. It's considerable. But the big thing has been the cold temperatures, and that's what so doesn't bother me. But when you go outside and it's 2 and 3 and 4, that is the part I don't like.
I talked to our mutual friend Mike DeCourcy today. He told me Pittsburgh got 13 inches of snow. This has been one of the craziest storms because it basically involved 70% of the country, and you don't often see that. All right, we didn't get a chance to talk after the title game. The Indiana win. It's the third straight year a Big Ten team has won the national championship. Indiana did it without a 5-star, only 4 4-stars. Cignetti's story and turnaround is incredible. Give me your historical perspective of what the Hoosiers have done.
Well, I'm about to step in a meeting for Sporting News in a month or so. We're celebrating our 140th anniversary and going through some of the great moments. Yeah. I mean, we're pretty old over here. And another reason why I take a lot of pride in working for SM. Sure. But we're going to celebrate the greatest moments in sports, and we're going to go through all these college football moments later this afternoon. It's hard for me to kind of quantify, because to me, when I think great moment, I think about Vince Young scoring against USC. Like, that's a singular moment. This is a 2-year storybook story led by Curt Cignetti, and being at the game, it was like, is this real life that we're watching Indiana win a national championship and do it in the fashion that they did, where they were favored?
I'm still astounded. The use of NIL money spent the right way on guys that fit his culture, and getting guys that on paper were not as sought after or talented as other schools were able to gather, and yet he was the most complete football team.
Yeah, and so you told me, I do this all the time. If you'd have told me this, and this, if you'd have told me that we're going to have Mark Cuban be on the field with NIL and all the contributions he's done for the program, and they're going to win a national title with a bunch of 2.5-star guys, I told you were crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it is wild. That is absolutely for sure. I mean, I don't think anybody. I mean, I think it's one of the great stories of college football total. That Vandy kind of the same way, where he got a quarterback and then he built his own culture, Clark Lee, and showed you. And if you just look at the championship game here, or even the Final Four, you didn't necessarily have your blue bloods. It's a changed college football landscape.
Completely. And so the other piece of this was, to me, yeah, they're old. And I was thinking about this. Dave, I'm doing a piece later this week on the Miracle on Ice. And I talked to Jim Craig this week. That documentary's coming out Friday. I was kind of thinking to myself, I mean,
how's he doing? You got to ask. Tell me, how's Jim Craig doing?
Unbelievable interview. Right. Unbelievably fun. And so my point is, the age of those guys wasn't all that different than Indiana, if you really think about it, right? Like, you had 22, 23-year-old guys doing this, doing the impossible. There are ties to be drawn between the two. But I really think when you get into this part about, okay, they're going to replicate what Cignetti did, I don't think it can be done in that way unless you have a Curt Cignetti-type coach. His talent evaluation, the way that they were able to do this, and not just do it, like I said, and do it in dominating fashion, was completely crazy.
Yeah. So the College Football Playoff Committee, ESPN, everybody else, they all, Big Ten and the SEC, Sankey and Petiti, have all put it off at least for another year, right? It's going to be 12 games. How long do you think that will be? And Do you think that the Big Ten and the SEC are finally going to make peace here and figure out a compromise?
Well, we'll get there eventually. I don't have a problem with them staying at 12. I would like to see us go to 16. I just think you capitalize off the product. You know, one thing, and I know you're a basketball guy too. I looked this up. So, and I was 4 years old. After NC State beat Houston, the tournament expanded 2 years later.
Yeah.
It expanded off that popularity, right? Like,
right.
And then you get Villanova beating Georgetown right out the go, 64 teams. It works. It was an opportunity to me for college football to capitalize on the excitement of Indiana's run, which the ratings over 30 million, which you add a couple more teams, make it more fun, spread out the love and all those things. There's a ways to go before we get there, and I get that the SEC and the Big Ten will have to come to an agreement, but I think we'll end up at 16 eventually.
Do you think the Big Ten really wants 24, or is that just the caveat to get them to 16?
I think they really do. And I think Tony Petitti does, because I think he's looking at this as like a made-for-TV event. Me personally, too many. I think 16 with not the guardrails, but the kind of the parameters they have in place. Okay, we're going to take these conference champions. We're going to do this. It's one of those deals where I think we can get there. We can do 5 conference champions, 4 Power 4, 1 more, get a group G6 school in there, 11 at-larges. We start right away. We play 2 rounds on campus. I would work towards those things. And maybe we didn't have it nailed down to this point. So let's do 12 again. 12's fine.
I agree. I think until you get a firm hold on what you want to do, keep your options open, and 12 is successful. Look at the TV ratings. Look at the amount of attendance that you had in ballparks, and you had to travel a long way to get them, and the prices you got. So I'm with you there 100%. You mentioned the G6. Thank you. Keep them in there. But it was interesting to me how in the new 12-team format here, it's not the G6 champion. It's the G6, I guess, which is the highest rated team. I found that interesting, more so that the G6 didn't even realize that language was in there.
Yeah, and I agree. So I was trying to sketch out the case where that might happen. So let's play that out. Let's say Memphis, we'll use you guys, goes 12-0. And it's just awesome all year. And you can see it. Hey, this is the team that should be the G6. And then they go lose to, it could have happened this year in your conference, honestly. Let's say they lose to like a 3-loss South Florida in the American Championship, but they're better than the rest of the G6 schools, the conference champs. I'm okay with that. It's kind of a cool guardrail now that I think of it. But in most cases, I think the best G6 team kind of rises up anyway. We could have had the debate about James Madison and Tulane last year, but, I had no problem with Tulane being where they were at the end of the rankings.
I think I'm okay with it. I don't think it was made for Memphis or South Florida or Tulane for that matter. I think it was back to Boise with Genty. If that team, which was undefeated at the time, had lost their championship game to, what was it, UNLV, or I can't remember who they play. I think it was UNLV in the championship game. Had they lost that game, then that would have been disaster. So I don't mind that safeguard, and if it safeguards that there's G6 representation, I'm all for it. Incidentally, I must say, you in our conversation today have brought up the 2 greatest upsets that I think I've seen. The Miracle on Ice and NC State with Jimmy Valvano.
Yeah, I mean, and we need to have the opportunity to have more. I was asked on an earlier show this morning, by Steel Chambers on the Bobby Carpenter show. He played linebacker at Ohio State. Yeah. He says, give me a equivalent to, for my age, for the Miracle on Ice, and the first thing I said was NC State Houston, and then I said college football-wise, it would probably be when Boise State beat Oklahoma with that series of plays, the Statue of Liberty.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, I was also thinking this was an early season game, but the Michigan loss that changed everything to who did they lose to?
App State?
App State, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other one where that's not supposed to happen, but it did, and that was a really talented App State team. And again, these are moments that you remember forever. So, I hope you get a chance to watch that documentary on the Miracle on Ice. Those guys are getting older, obviously, but it's amazing to me that 46 years later, or 45, it hasn't faded, at least in my mind, and I was barely alive. And I told this story to Jim Craig. I said, I was at a high school game a couple weeks ago, and they had jersey night, for the student section, and you see 3 or 4 Team USA 1980 jerseys from like 15-year-old boys. So I don't think the memory of that's going to fade anytime soon.
There'll never be a bigger upset than that. I remember it incredibly well because I grew up loving hockey, and the Russian team was like an NHL All-Star team. They were that good, and you had these some of them were still in their teens, guys who'd never played a minute of pro athletics, and they beat them. And that to this day, I will never forget that. Last thing, until say late summer when we have you back, I'm inking you to a lifetime contract here. Give me your best storylines for next year.
Well, I think we'll be right back to where we started with Texas and Arch Manning. They'll probably have a top 5 ranking. I think the Big Ten, you mentioned it all off the top rope, 3 straight titles. Do they continue rolling with that? And then, from there, we go into the off season, which I've spent all week talking about, like Darian Mentz's contract or what Dabo's saying to the SEC and those kind of things with the tampering charges. Not the most exciting stuff to talk about all off season, but when we get back to the games, it was proven. Like I said, 30 million people watched Indiana, Miami. Yep. So the interest is there. I will tell you, Dave, I had a lot of fun talking to you all season, and hopefully we can check in a few times in the off season. It's always one of my favorite segments of the week.
That's a done deal, my friend. That is a done deal. Bill, always, I appreciate it. Stay warm, stay safe, figure out something to do with your kids. We'll talk soon.
I will. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you. That's Bill Bender from the Sporting News. We got to take a break. We're heading downtown. What are those streets like? He lives on Mud Island, He's part of the rich and the famous. He just went on a European vacation. Jarvo is next.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Available locally on your radio dial as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, it's easy to stay tuned to Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The 2025 Range Rover Sport sits right at the heart of the Land Rover lineup, offering a perfect mix of style, performance, and versatility. Smaller and more agile than a full-size Range Rover, it's a great option for everyone who wants luxury and practicality. Every model comes with 8-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive standard. Whether you navigate city streets or tackle rough terrain, Range Rover Sport has you covered. Every drive is powerful and breathtaking. The 2025 Range Rover Sport is the epitome of sporting luxury. Test drive one at Jaguar Land Rover Bluff City.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
Hi, folks. Bill Russell at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, and I hope your new year has started out in a great way. I think we're all relieved when the holidays are over and life returns to normal. And normal means that special gift-giving occasions always roll around. Over the last 5 decades, we at Russell Brothers have helped thousands of Memphians turn those special occasions into truly memorable celebrations when a small box of exquisite jewelry from Russell Brothers is opened. Beauty, quality, value, and service are what we have offered to our friends and customers for so many years, and all of that is wrapped together in the stunning jewelry you'll find at Russell Brothers Jewelers. Whether you're looking for a very important piece of jewelry for a big occasion, or perhaps just a trendy, whimsical piece to make her smile, we can help you. Remember, beauty, quality, value, and service are our offerings to you every day for every occasion. Come see us at Russell Brothers Fine Jewelers, 4646 Poplar at Perkins.
Come on and let the good times roll, y'all. Or as we say in Louisiana, laissez le bon temps rouler. The Orleans in the Ville with our made-from-scratch red beans, jambalaya, gumbo, po' boys, and made-fresh daily muffaladas right here in Collierville. Eat, drink, and stay for dessert like our homemade bread pudding with warm bourbon sauce. Monday through Friday, meat and two with homemade veggies. So good you bring your mom and them. Brunch every Saturday and Sunday. Right here, the Orleans in the Ville, 336 New Byhalia Road. Where great food, live music, and endless fun meet.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
All right, we head downtown. It's lifestyle of the rich and the famous. He's back from his European vacation. Oh, my gosh. Hall of Famer Jarvis Greer. Can you get settled back into real life on the island now that you're, you
Tell you what, jet lag is real. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, that's tough. I'm so sorry to hear it.
Yeah, you don't want to hear about it. Those are first world problems, right? But and it's good to have first world problems.
There you go.
Let's see. At back, everything is great. There were jaw jerseys everywhere, and people speaking all kind of different languages. Having jaw jerseys on, old men, young kids, old ladies. And it was like, man, wow, is the Forum right around the corner? At the Uber Arena in Berlin and the O2 Arena in London. It was just like, wow, we know who these people like, and they know about him and they know about us.
Well, give us
one thing was, go ahead.
I was going to say, give us a sense of what the arena atmosphere was like. I know in Orlando, in Berlin, excuse me. They got 3 German national guys, so that seemed to me that was much more a Magic crowd than a Grizz crowd.
Yes, correct, and of course, because and plus Dirk Nowitzki was there to they treated this. It was almost like the Olympics. They had Pau Gasol was there. It was totally awesome. They introduced everybody, and those guys got huge ovations. And they also played Pau Gasol's Memphis highlights on the Jumbotron on the big screen, which was really cool, I thought. And he was there to represent Memphis, and Dirk was there to represent, the Magic. And so that was really cool. It was a whole total deal. The Uber Arena is it looks fabulous on the outside. On the inside, it's kind of tight. It's a tight fit. It seats about 14,500. It was packed. I mean, the lines trying to get in were just crazy. And like I said, there's people coming in from all those, Europe is so tightly packed with all these countries right next to each other. And there were people coming in from, Austria, from, Finland even, for Isolo. And they're coming in from all over the place to see these games. And Uber Arena is it's kind of like Hoffheim, used to be Hoffheim's. What is it now, Fertitta Center in Houston?
Yes.
You enter at the top and go down, and it's got a row of boxes around the top. And it's nice, but it's not like, these American arenas where they just go total creature comfort on everything. And, ice falling off the house right now as I'm looking outside. The sun finally came out. But the O2 Arena is like a giant mall. It's like the Metrodome, it's got one of those tarps over it.
Yeah.
Supported by these outside, it looked like, high tension wires. These things come up out of the ground. Wow, look at that. And it's supporting this big tarp.
And on the inside, it's like a mall. It's like a gigantic mall outside the arena itself, which fits on the inside, which kind of reminds you of the pyramid a little bit. But it's more like an NBA arena. It was built right around the same time, a little bit 2 years earlier than FedEx Forum. They could actually do NBA games there on the regular if they wanted. But it was really neat. But the thing is, there were so many people there wearing Memphis gear. And it was just like, wow, you know, they know about us over here. They know about us. And it was really cool. While we were over there, Kevin Kane from Memphis Tourism invited us to a shindig they were having. They had all these tour operators, like 40 tour operators they invited to one of these hotels downtown overlooking the Tower of London. And they brought in Memphis barbecue. And that, I'm telling you, that place got sucked up in seconds. They kept bringing it out, and it kept leaving.
Memphis barbecue? Did they
Memphis
literally
barbecue. Yeah, they had it
shipped
flown
in? Who?
They had it flown in.
Who was the barbecue? Can you tell us?
Well, of course, you know, what's his operation down there on Beale Street? You know, because he owns that.
Oh,
place.
Blue City. Blue City.
Yeah, Blue City. But it was gone in 60 seconds, like the movie title. And every tray they brought out was gone. But they also had some other, you know, dribs and drabs of some other barbecue places. And it's also, they had like all these, you know, London cabbies, you know how the famous London cabbies?
Yeah.
Buku of them had Memphis tourism wrapped. You know, they were like van wrap, you know, you wrap them with all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Kane does not miss a trick. He, by the way, is the sponsor for Mike DeCourcy that starts on Monday.
Oh, well, very good.
Memphis Tourism is.
Also, Doug Brown from, you know, who's the GM of the Peabody was there. And, you know, they're bringing in business, buddy. And those people were excited about that. They want to come to Memphis. They want to do the
Love it.
Blues Trail and all that stuff. And
love it.
You know, go to Beale Street. So it's great. It's a great ambassador for the city, tourism, and all that stuff. The games, like they were competitive in Berlin, but they lost at the end, which, you know.
Well, they blew a big lead. They had a great first quarter.
Yeah, and then in London they just absolutely blew the Magic out.
Yeah, they dominated.
John played in that game and looked tremendous.
No, he was spectacular in that game. So that gets us to this.
Oh, I tell you this. One thing really quickly. You know, we had great seats. My wife had, you know, she's the travel coordinator through a travel agent. She does, you know, like your wife, I guess. She takes care of all that stuff.
Right.
And we had great seats. And there was this guy sitting right behind the Grizzlies bench, about 15 rows up. And there was this guy sitting behind us that I believe he was Arab by birth, but lived in London. And he said, "Oh, Memphis," because I was wearing my Jaw jersey. And he goes, Memphis. Oh, much respect, Young Dolph, R.I.P. Young Dolph. And so he knew more than just the team. You know what I mean?
Right.
He Jaw fanatic, but knew more about Memphis. And that's all we heard when they were there. We were there, so it was a fabulous trip. Glad we did it. Bucket list thing. Not like I want to kick anytime soon, but it was really a neat thing to do.
Sounds like it. And the pictures I saw, Stonehenge and on the river, on the
Religious
London Bridge,
experience.
you and Emily just did it spectacularly. Hats off to you. All right. You mentioned Ja and how everybody's crazy about him no matter what language they speak. Right. Will he be a Grizzly a week from today at 2 o'clock, the trading deadline?
You know, I'm been wishy-washy on that. At first I was saying no. At first I was like a hard no because heck, they still got like 2 years. He's got 2 years left on his contract. They don't have to do anything now. Now I know it's a big draft coming up, but they don't have to do anything now. And if they re-sign him, they can renegotiate his contract and put all kind of riders in there as far as, you know, games played. If you reach this, you know, plateau, you get this much money, so on and so forth. So they don't have to do anything now. And I think since, this latest injury is making it tough. Oh, hitting his elbow, in which we were there at that game in Memphis when he had those 3 chase down blocks. You saw it.
Yeah.
He hit his elbow on the rim, Dave. I hit my elbow on the clock trying to turn off the snooze button. You know what I mean? He hit his on the backboard.
So, Jarvo, is that 3-week injury? Is that a 3-week injury or is that a trade injury?
It could be. I don't know. But the thing is, is this going to be a medical? I'm calling it like a medical tank if they do actually go that route. But we got so much of the season left. You don't have to do that right now. and they're not that far out where they can't get back in. You know, the race, even to get to the 6th spot, they're not that far out to be in the actual playoff. But I think that with this latest injury, the trade it's making it that much tougher to trade him. So I think that they can go into the summer and do this, and they still got. I mean, we're 2.5 years out basically before his contract's up, so they don't have to. And I think they were both a year out on Desmond and re-upping Desmond and re-upping.
So I think
Tripp.
you're telling me you think he's
They're
going
1, 2, 3.
You're telling me you think he's going to be in a Grizzly uniform the rest of this year.
I'm thinking so, and also here's this. You know, the guys are going to start trickling back in. We got the update yesterday that Ty Jerome and Scottie Pippen are down working with the hustle. They're not going to play games, but they're working with them. And, they're working pretty hard getting those practices there. So we could see one or both of them back on the court next week. Then after that, you get BC. Then after that, you get maybe Zach Edey if they, because you can't keep, we'll reevaluate in 3 to 6 weeks. We'll reevaluate because eventually you'll get investigated by the NBA. You can't keep pushing that date. It'll be June 75th. It'll be reviewed. That's when he's ready to play now. So these guys start coming back in, and you got a squad because, they have not seen what this team actually looks like all together. And they said, well, they'll never be healthy because, somebody's always going to be hurt. Here's the difference. That team, they played Charlotte last night, and Charlotte beat the heck out of them with a big run second half. They were bad at the beginning of the year. You know why? Because the first 2 months of the season, all their guys were out. All the guys. And they got a lot of those high draft picks because they sucked forever, basically. But you got all these Brandon Millers and all these other guys that have been around, LaMelo Ball, that have been there for 4 years.
Bridges.
Yeah, Bridges.
And now you have Knipple, who's pretty darn good.
Yeah, you had some of those guys, and the guy that got all those rebounds last night, had 20 rebounds last night.
Diabato.
Yeah, Diabato. And it's like, oh, my goodness. They are, and it's sustainable. They're healthy now, and they're playing better. What they had Philly down 51 a week before they played last night, and they won by 36. And they're just – now, when they lose, but when they win big. I mean, they kill people. And they put one on the Grizzlies last night, and you can see why. Because they got a lot of high draft picks on this team, and they're healthy.
We'll know a little bit more when we talk again next Thursday. I hope I see you at the Tiger FAU game tonight.
Yeah, the sun. Like I said, the sun just came out, and it's going to melt some of this stuff. It was treacherous this morning. If you went out, I know you saw it was treacherous because all that stuff had glazed over on top of the snow, and it was hard to even walk around. But now it's going to melt. The only thing about it is it's going to refreeze. It's going to refreeze.
No doubt about that.
Jarbo, but, the hardy souls will make it. Go Blue Gray, go Tigers. It's a huge game tonight, and they got to make up for that job they got put on them down there in Tampa.
No, it is.
Yeah, where was that? FAU. FAU is.
That's in Boca. Boca.
I'm sorry.
A rich and famous guy like you ought to know Boca. That's a perfect place for you to retire.
Well, no, I'm retiring right here in Memphis, baby. I'm Memphis born, Memphis bred. When I die, I'll be Memphis dead.
There you go. Oh, Jarbo, I hope that's a long time.
Baby. I'm not the first one to say that.
I know.
I'm jumping on that train.
We'll see you tonight. Have a good one, buddy.
Okay, you too, Dave. Have a good call.
That is Jarvis Greer, who is all over.
Put that on a shirt.
The play. Yeah, exactly. Jarvo brought to you by another institution in Memphis. That's Sheldon Rosengarten, Mark Spensdorf. He says he's the best real estate point guard in town because he's got a plan. He knows how to work that strategic marketing plan. He gets you to the closing table, to the bucket quicker than anybody. He hits the trees because he knows exactly what he's got to do with all the preparation and the pricing that he does. He's perfect. He's a terrible golfer because he never can practice because he's always working 365, 24/7. He'll tell you this. Talk to 2 or 3 real estate brokers if you or someone you know is looking to sell their house. Just make sure he's one of those 2 or 3 because he's going to let you know all about the way to position, the way to price. He gets you to the closing table quicker than anybody else, and you'll make more of the green that you want. All you got to do is call 483-0546 or go to the website. It says it all, memphisrelocate.com. That's memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546. That'll do it for us. We got a busy Friday tomorrow. We'll be back then. Johnny Radio's right around the corner. Don't go anywhere. Have a great day. Maybe we'll see you tonight at FedEx Forum.